Hey guys, Mr. Kyle, Myers Mathematics, and let's just jump right into it. So today I want to talk about multiplication tricks, the easy way to multiply things in your head without a calculator. So before we dive into this, if you want to know where this is coming from, this has to do with a couple videos I made a while back on division and divisibility, which are two slightly different things, but very much related. Divisibility is, does it divide? And then if you know it does divide, then there's another trick for how to divide it easily. So this multiplication tricks is going to kind of overlap a little bit with those other two videos. So I'm going to put the the link to those videos in the description below so that you can check those out and compare and contrast them, because there's going to be a little bit of overlap with this video and those videos, and there's some other YouTubers that make tricks on these as well, so check them out. Some multiplication tricks are better than others, so be careful what you see on the internet. But we're going to talk about a couple of the easy tricks to multiply things, and then we'll look at some examples for some of them, if it makes sense to do so. All right. Also, before we get started, if you haven't downloaded my awesome free guide, it's the 5 math mistakes everyone makes and how to avoid them. It is on my website, myersmathematics.com, and you can just click on the, I think they call it a hero image on the beginning there, and take it to that. So you can get that free guide. You just send me, just tell me where to send it with your email, and then you sign up for its subscription like it normally would be for any other thing. So then if I send out an email on a new video, then you'll be one of the first ones to see it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with 0 and 1, since, those are numbers too. If I take a 0, so 0, and I times it by any number, I get 0. And of course, 1's trick is very similar. 1 times any number is that number. All right, so you probably already knew that, but I figured I'd go ahead and cover my bases before I move on to 2. So for 2, if you want to multiply any number by 2, then you just double it, right? So multiplying by 2 is the same thing as doubling a number. And this is really cool because if you know how to double a number, then you can use this trick of doubling the number for some other tricks later on in this video that I'm going to talk about. So if I double, a 0, obviously that's just 0, right? So if I double 0, that's 0. If I double 1, that's 2. If I double 2, that's 4. Right? So double 3, 6. Double 4, 8. Double 5, 10. Double 6, 12. Double 7, 14. All right, so I'm just going to kind of list them all here, and that way you can see what's going to happen when I try to do this in an example. So I don't need to do 10 because 10 just ends in 0, right? So 10 is 20. It ends in 0. If you double a number that ends in 0, then the answer is going to end in 0. Right? So the 10 doubling to 20 is kind of the same as the 0 doubling to 0, as you'll see in a second. But let's say I want to double 27. Right, so I want to double a 27. Well, 7 doubled is 14, so I know it's going to end in 4. And I also have to carry a 1. 2 doubled is 4, plus 1 is 5. Right, so if you can double a number, you can double any number. You could double a double-digit number, you can double a 3-digit number, however many digits. As long as you can remember to carry every now and then you're fine. And you never need to carry any more than 1 digit. Right? So you don't have to remember that much carrying. You either have to carry a digit or you don't. So it's pretty easy to double numbers. If you get the hang of it, do some practice. It's not too hard. All right, so next we have 3. You're probably thinking like, oh, what kind of cool trick is there to multiply by 3? And you know what? I didn't find any. So if you know of a cool trick so there's not that I know of. If you know a cool trick to multiply by 3s, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I didn't find anything really good And of course, I tried to, make up some sort of trick myself by looking at patterns and things. And, I just didn't really see any good patterns. So not really anything for threes. But there is something for fours. You can double it twice. And this is because 4 is actually just 2 times 2. You're probably like, well, yeah, duh. But if you think about it, if 4 is 2 times 2, then what you're doing is you're doubling the number, and then you're doubling it again, right? If you times by 2, you double it, and then you times by 2 again, so you double it again. So if you want to multiply any number by 4, you just double it twice. Let's look at some examples. Let's say I do 26. Right, so if I double 26, double 6 is 12. I have to carry. Double 2 is 4. Now it's 5. Double it again. Double 2 is 4. Double 5 is 10. 104. So 26 times 4 is 104. Okay, let's do another one. What about 87? Double 7 is 14. I have to carry. Double 8 is 16. Now it's 17. Right, double 4 is 8. Double 7 is 14. Have to carry. Double 1 is 2. Now it's 3. There we go. So 87 times 4 is 348. All right, so pretty cool trick there. Next up is 5. And you'll notice a lot of these tricks have to do with doubling, or in this case, halving. So the cool thing about 5 is the same thing as 10 divided by 2. Right? So 10 divided by 2 is 5. Therefore, I can use the trick for timesing by tens, which I'm going to get to eventually in this video, but I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. If you multiply any number by 10, you add a 0. So if I'm going to multiply by 5, I just need to multiply by 10. So I need to add a 0, and then I need to divide by 2. So the trick to dividing by 2 is actually in that video. It's in the link in the description below. But if I divide by 2, I half the number. It's the opposite of doubling a number. So add a 0, and then you half the number. So add a 0, half the number. Let's check it out. So let's say I have 58. All right, add a 0, 580, half the number. Well, so this is a little bit more tricky, right? If I half a number, you have to be careful because if you have any odd numbers, any odd digits in your number, then you have to remember to kind of like reverse what's going on. So if I take half of 5, it's almost like you're doing the division, the long division in your head. If I take half of 5 and round down, half of 5 is 2.5, round down to 2. All right, so another way to think of it is half of 500, so it would be 250. And then half of 80 is 40. So then this would be 290. And then, of course, you could double it to check it, right? Because the opposite of halving is doubling. So you could double it to check it just to make sure you're on the right track here. So you would do 9 doubled is 18, carry a 1, 2 doubled is 4, add 1 is 5. Check. Okay, this one's a little harder if you have odd digits. If you have even digits, this is a really easy method. So for instance, if I had 686, right, all even digits, this is really easy. You just add a 0, 6860, and then you half the number. Half of 6 is 3, half of 8 is 4, half of 6 is 3, half of 0 is 0. You half each of the digits. If you have all even numbers, even digits, I should say, then you just take half of each digit individually. If you have odd digits, you have to be careful. Right? So every time you have an odd digit, it helps to do it the way I did it with the 58 and kind of split it up into 2 separate numbers. Okay. So I won't do too much else with that. 5 is a neat trick. Add a 0, half the number, but you have to be careful when you're halving numbers. It's not as easy as doubling numbers. right? For 6, there's not really a cool trick. But 6 is 2 times 3, so you can at least double the number, and then you can just multiply by 3 later. So you can double the number and then multiply by 3. Or, since doubling the number is really easy, it might be helpful to multiply by 3. I do this trick actually more often if I multiply by 3. Because before you double the number is smaller. So usually it's actually more helpful to multiply by 3 first. So multiply by 3 and then double the number. Right? So let's say I want to multiply 25 times 6. Right? 25 times 6. So if you're not sure what that is, what you can do is, okay, 25 times 3. That's a little bit easier, right? You can just do 25, 50, 75. So this is 75. And then double it. If I double it, I double the 5, that's 10. I had to carry. 7 doubled is 14, plus 1 more is 15. So 25 times 6 is 150. Right? Oh, you know what? I forgot to put that in green, but it's all good. Just circle it in green. Normally I try to put examples in green. So let's do another one. Let's say we have 33 times 6. All right, so then you can go 33, and then we're going to times it by 3 first. And this one's actually even easier because I don't have to carry. 3 times 3 is 9, so 33 times 3 is 99. If you don't have to carry a number, you just multiply each digit individually. All right, I'll repeat that. If you don't have to carry any numbers, then you can just multiply the digits individually. All right, so then I have 99. And if I double 99, start with the ending digit, right? So the ones digit of 9. Double that, you get 18. I had to carry. Double 9 again, you get 18, but I had to carry, so now it's 19. So 33 times 6 is 198. If I multiply by 7, again, it's kind of like 3. Not really any trick. So I'm going to put not really. I think that's what I put for 3. Yeah, not really. So again, if you know of a cool trick for 7, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. But as far as I know, there's no trick to making multiplying by 7 very easy. So sorry. But 8 is just like 2 and 4 because 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So I can just double the number 3 times. And the fancy way to say 3 times is thrice. Double it thrice. So if I double the number 3 times, then I have my answer. Right, so this trick is going to work exactly like the 2 and the 4 trick, just doubling it one more time. I'll do one example for this one, but I think you kind of got the hang of it probably by now. So let's see, what number am I? 16 maybe? 16. So I would double it 3 times. So double 16, double 6 is 12, a carry. Double 1 is 2. Right, add 1 is 3. Double 2 is 4. Double 3 is 6. Double 4 is 8. Double 6 is 12. Right? That's 3 times. I just doubled it 3 times, which means 16 times 8 is 128. All right? Awesome. So if you are multiplying by 9, one little trick is probably one you've heard of, and it's the hand trick. And that is whenever you have your hands, and just put this in the video here. I would click on it, but you know, it is what it is. So you take your hands and you go, okay, 9 times, let's say 2. Right? So 9 times 2, from my perspective, it's 2. Or you can do this here, 2. So you bring down your second finger. However many fingers you have to the left of the finger you put down is your tens digit. And then however many fingers you have to the right is your ones digit. It's a really classic trick. Most kids I know, and adults I know even, know this trick or remember it vaguely at least. So 9 times 2 is 18. Then I can do 9 times 3. Well, 9 times 3 is 27. All right, so the 9's trick. So that's the hand trick. If you want to multiply by something else, you can actually just sort of use the rule that I talked about earlier with threes. And that is, if a number gets multiplied by 9, then you can check it because it'll be divisible by 9 if the digits add up to 9. Add up to either 9 or a number that's divisible by 9. So you can check that by going to the video that I had in the link in the description below. All right. So there's a hand trick for 9, but other than that, nothing too special. And that brings me to my last digit I'm going to talk about, which is 10. All right. So this is probably one you've already heard of, and I kind of already spoiled it from earlier, but I'll go ahead and mention it just so I can do all the digits from 1 to 10, and that is add a 0. If you multiply any number by 10, all you have to do is just add a 0, and that's it. All right, so this has been the end of this video. Hope it has been helpful. If it has, go ahead and throw a like, comment in the video below, or sorry, in the comment, comment in the comment section below if you would like to see other videos like this, or if you want to see a different video on a different topic, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. If you were wondering, I normally have my videos go out at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, but I forgot to do that this week. Just really busy. So it did not go out on time, but it is going out on Tuesday nonetheless. So it will go out on time normally, and that'll be in the future. But anyways, it's been fun, and I hope to see you again in another episode